Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Stencil Saturday video. You can see I just have a tiny little piece of fabric on here this time. We're going to work on a border design, and it is kind of a lot of different things going to be going on. So I didn't want to mark too much of it because then, you'd get sick of watching me. So this is the Crossed Diamonds, and I marked it as if this is a border. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use just a straight ruler and my mod rounded squares. I think the little one, maybe the big one too. I don't know. But we're going to start. So what I want to do is I want to stitch this. So I want each of these little portions to look as though the corners are rounded. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to stitch, and I'm actually, maybe I need to use the big one, actually. I think I do. So I'm going to go up and kind of over. So I'm going to have to make sure that I stop in the center here so I can slide the ruler over. So I'm going to stitch up. And that's going to give me my nice little rounded corner. I'm going to stop right about, it doesn't matter where you stop, but I'm going to stop in the center so I don't get off track here. Then I'm going to stitch back up here. Scoot this over. Again, slide the ruler. Go up. It's just going to be easier to backtrack on these while I still kind of have it in one place. Now I could have done across the top and done it as a figure 8, but I just want to make sure that ideally I can keep these backtracking well, where I go down and back up. And then I'm going to work my way across the bottom here. And I think I'm going to be easier to do it this way. I'm just going to do the same thing across the bottom. Make sure I slide my ruler over here. Get to the center. Come back out. Slide this over. Backtrack out. Whoop. Almost done. Trim these off. Okay, so now that we have the outside done, my next step is that I want to stitch these diamonds. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and there's a reason that I want to get these in next, because we're going to add something else out here that I need to have a line to go against. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch these. And I will do these like a figure 8. And then work my way back to the other side. Now, as I'm working my way back to the other side, you can see that at this point right now, I just closed in this diamond shape. So at this point, I do want to fill something in the center, so I might as well do it now while I'm here. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a tiny little 1/4 inch frame. And I want to make sure at these points to go out and back so it all matches where I travel. Oh, I went a little tiny bit too far. I'm down to here. I'm going to go out and back. Out and back in. And then close this in. Now, I do want to put something in here, and I'm just going to put a simple meander just for ease of making the video go a little faster. And I'm going to meander kind of over here, kind of pretty small, and then work my way back to this exact same point so that I can go into the next one. And you could put any fill in here that you like. I mean, that is entirely up to you. I just find that this one's actually easier, well, faster, I guess, to stitch than something that I would probably generally pick. I personally kind of like a meander. I'm going to travel. And then we need to remember we have to finish off closing in this diamond. So we're going to come here, close it in, and then we're going to echo little 1/4 inch frame, remembering, of course, to go out and back. Out and back. Out and back. Now it's closed in. I'll do my little meander here to fill it all in. And then travel in, close this diamond, and then I'm just going to repeat what I did in these last 2 diamonds in these 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do these real quick, and then we'll get to the next part of the design. Okay, now that we have finished these diamonds, it's kind of cute just as is. You could leave it this way. I mean, I don't think that that's really too much to be left unquilted. You know, it's good texture. But my plan is I want to go ahead back now and echo this rounded corner on the inside. So that was why we need to have the outer part of the diamond there, because I need to travel along it, do the echo, and have a place so I know where to stop, and so that I can travel along that point to do the next part. And I'm going to work my way all the way over and then all the way back this way. So again, I am going to, and actually I think I can use this one now because I'm just doing one little part at a time. So I'm going to travel up, and because I did a 1/4 inch frame here, I'm going to go ahead and do this as a 1/4 inch frame. So what I'm doing is lining this curve up on the line that's already there so that I know that's where it's going to fall. Then I'm just going to sneak around here. Line this up again. Oh, get the string out of here. I'm lined up right on there. Gonna stitch. Just gonna sneak it down here. Sneak up. And what I'm doing is I'm watching that my foot is touching this line. So now I am ready. I'm in the right place. Just line up my ruler and stitch my little curved echo. Sneak up, over. Actually, I can probably just do it this way. I went a little bit too far. Sneak across here. Line up my ruler. Line up my ruler. Now you could do something in these little areas, but I think that I don't want to. I think that I want it to be puffier here so you really kind of see it. I'm going to sneak down here, over, line up my ruler, and stitch. Oop. Stop here on my strings. Okay. We need to just sneak down here far enough. Oh my goodness, with this string is getting in it. Okay, so this time I'm going to sneak over here and then come down here and work my way back around. Line up my ruler. Sneak around. And the other thing too that I really like about this is the idea that, you know, the diamond in the center is straight, and then this little echo with the curve is just, you know, a really good contrast to that. And then this is finally the last one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tie it off here. And now you could do this much bigger too, you know, if you were going to do it in a border. And I do know that, you know, a lot of times when you talk about, you know, creating border designs like this, you do need to worry about what's going to happen in the corners. So one of my kind of go-to things is that I will generally start marking the border. You know, if you think about a border, if this were the border and then the other border were coming down this way, so we'd have this, I'm going to call it the cornerstone, right? So the corner of the border. I will usually start at that cornerstone and kind of mark the border in. I'll start at the edge of this and mark that direction, and then start here at the very at the bottom of this cornerstone and mark in. If I come to the center and one doesn't fit, at least the two sides and the top and the bottom are going to be the same with each other. So if I get to the center and there's a space there, I just let it go. Yes, it may be different on the two sides than it is on the top and the bottom, but I'm okay with that. So then what I usually will do, depending on the width of the border, I'm going to use this one as an example. I would now have this cornerstone is empty. It starts with this, starts here and goes down. I will take a ruler, and this is a good example because it's a good scale for this size, because this would be 5 inches. I would take a ruler, you know, depending on what size you want, but I'm going to use this as an example. And if I had, let's say this is an ongoing border here, okay? Move down here so you can see. And let's pretend these two aren't here. This was my open space where these came in from this direction, this one came in from this direction, and now right here was nothing in the center of either the top, bottom, or the sides. I would take this ruler, lay it down right here, and mark the top and the bottom to create this bar lined up with the center where it meets this and it meets this. In the corner, in that corner square, I would do the same thing. I would come in this way and mark both sides, and then I would make it meet so it forms a angle at the corner. And then quilt something different in these marked little bars. And what it does is it ties everything together, and the border, these little bars that you've put in there, and usually what I like to do is just keep them simple. And if you look at this roller, just like these lines are marked here, 1/2 inch, whatever, could be 1 inch, I do something that simple on there because it really sets the border off and you notice it. So what it looks like is that this marked bar that's really just solving your problem because they don't fit evenly or they don't meet, it becomes a whole nother design element because it's going to make the rest of the border design look like this travels behind it. So I hope that makes sense. I do it all the time, and it really, really works out very well. And it just makes, I'm not a mather. So if I can get rid of the math altogether in trying to figure out borders and corners, it's great. So if we take, let me turn the light off here since I didn't get rid of the chalk and I don't have my little scrubby thing. Maybe we can see it. So I think it's really great texture, and I love these little curved frames. I think it's just something really different. You know, I do the frames all the time, and more than likely they're angled. There's just something I really love about these curved frames. It almost makes these look like they're so individual units. for some reason to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'll see you next time. Bye.